Yes, and before we head on over to our second game, meron tayong i-discuss at ano yun, Sf5?
Yes, we'll be talking about Tam Kench, the River King. For those of you who don't know, actually na-reveal na nga siya. The champion reveal has been released. We're just gonna delay a bit until the GPL teams are ready. But before we get to that, yun nga, i-discuss muna natin yung River King. So the guy's actually a giant support.
Yun nga.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty cool because he's got some pretty unique abilities. Mostly his ult, I think, is the most unique one. So I guess let's just take a look at that one. First, we can see his passive. So it's an acquired taste. So he basically applies a stack of that, and that affects all of his other skills. So once he's able to apply all of this stuff, it'll make his other skills stronger. Let's check out the others.
Yeah.
So his first skill, his Q, is Tongue Lash. So he roots himself briefly while launching his tongue in a direction. You could probably just watch it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At basically,
yun na yun.
Yun ang nangyayari doon, may damage tsaka may slow. So basically, it's a long-range CC. Yun lang.
Pero di ba I heard may, ano ba yung may stun?
Yeah, that's the important part. If you're able to land Acquired Taste, if you're able to stack it up to 3 times, and then you use this, it'll land a stun. So it's a pretty good form of CC.
So I can imagine you comboing your skills for you to land 3 stacks. Basic attacks din, di ba? Is he mid-range?
He is... Yeah, basic attacks are damaging abilities.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Is he mid-range or is he melee?
I'm actually not sure. Let's see.
Let's see him flick some champions.
Yeah, he's like he's somewhere in between.
Okay.
Medyo range siya na medyo melee.
Yeah.
So basically yun, he can land a relatively long-range stun actually, as long as you can land your skill shot. Then we have Devour.
Yeah,
so
that's the most interesting skill.
Swallows a nearby targeted unit. Enemies suffer a portion of their max health, so this would be pretty good against tanks.
Yeah.
And then it also interacts with a lot of different things. So for minions and monsters, if he devours them, he can activate the ability. Oh, he can spit them out.
Yeah.
So similar to Scion shouting at a minion if it is spat towards it, towards a certain direction. And then if he does it to an allied champion, he renders them immune from damage, and they gain extra movement speed when they head towards enemy champions.
What?
Wow, so that's actually...
That's so, like the walking Zonias for you.
Yeah.
Early game.
Immune to damage and movement speed bonus. That's...
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm not complaining. I'm really not complaining, but just imagine how you can use this in so many ways. Kasi, na-imagine ko yung mga lockdown ultimates like Vi's ultimate and Nautilus ultimate. It's like it's gonna be rendered useless.
Yeah.
If you eat your companion.
Yeah,
that's
true.
a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah. And yeah, so wow, immune damage is actually really good.
Yeah, too good actually.
And then enemy champions, yeah, if there's 3 stacks. Oh, okay, you can only devour an enemy champion if you already have 3 stacks.
Oh, okay,
and then his movement speed is drastically reduced. And he suffers greatly reduced vision. Wow.
Okay.
So the utility on Tam Kench is so big.
Yeah.
You can do so much with Devour. Alright, let's check the next one. Thick Skin. So there's a passive. Once he leaves combat, the gray health. So he has gray health basically.
Ooh, okay.
So he takes his turn into gray health. Okay. So when he takes in damage, it's turned into gray health, and he can use that as a shield.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
So the active. Okay, got it. So he has to gather the gray thing. The gray.
Yeah. He'll take in damage, and that'll give him there. He'll take in some damage, and that'll give him some gray health. There, you can see that there's a little bit of gray health there. And then, when he activates it, he's going to gain a shield. And it converts his gray health into a shield.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Really nice build. I mean, wow, that's actually really thick. If you look at it.
Yeah. And now for the most interesting part.
Yeah.
It's his ult. All of Tam's damage scales with his maximum health. So you really want to build this guy tanky.
Tanky, yeah.
And then his active opens his... Yeah, I think it's better if you watch it because it's a really long description. But basically, he can bring someone with him. So we'll see in the video. I think Lucian's gonna like jump into his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna be transported to another location. So it's like Shen's ult,
yes,
but bringing you along with the Shen. There you go.
That is really good. That is just too good. Actually, I've been discussing with my coworker earlier, and then I imagine, what if you take a Thresh with you and then the Lantern with you while he ultimates? I wonder if that's possible.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
And of course, the Shen ultimate. The global presence of Tam.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think I was reading comments, and the range of his ult is about similar to the range of Serath's ult. So it's semi-global.
Semi-global.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, so, can you compare it to Pantheon and Twisted Fate's ultimate?
Yeah, something like that. It's semi-global, and I think this could be really helpful with ADRs or AD carries that like to roam a lot.
Yeah.
So if you wanna, or even just for saving your AD carry.
Yeah.
So if you wanna get him out of the situation, if you're in a bad spot, because I think the casting time of his ult lasts around 15 seconds. So that's really a lot of time. I actually think you can interrupt it. So if while he's casting, you don't want him to save his AD carry or bring him to another direction, just throw in like an Ash arrow, interrupt his ult.
Or any
so
sort of CC that wouldn't. So it's like a channeling ability.
Yeah. And then, but the moment that the AD carry gets in, you can't interrupt
You can't interrupt it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow.
I could imagine him being pretty useful because, especially with the tank meta right now, I mean, it's so prevalent now in this meta. So the only problem I can see with him is that he's kind of short-ranged.
Yeah,
so
that's
very
true.
prone to kiting. So if you're fighting like a Caitlyn or something, it's gonna be hell all day. Yeah.
Yeah. So that goes back to his safety, which is the E ability.
Yeah, thick skin.
The thick skin.
Pretty much. So he'll have a little bit of sustain in the lane, but the moment that he can start using his global, semi-global ult, then it's gonna be pretty good.
Yep, so anyway, looks like we are going to see tonight's match. That is the second game for tonight's Saigon Fantastic 5 versus Asus in the Fate. We will be heading on to the picks and ban phase in a while. Actually, whoop, there we go. Rise and Annie-ban.
So that's going to be Rise and Annie-ban. Rise definitely still targeted towards Slay just because he did really well with him in the previous game they had last week. Really, Slay can carry hard even with a Shen.
Yes.
So you really want to stay away from that.
Looks like they are gonna settle with the same bans, except that the Annie right now is really scary. Nakita ko kanina, grabe, no?
Grabe yung wombo combo na yan. Akihu, out of nowhere, flash ult Tibbers.
With the Orianna Shockwave.
Yeah,
so amazing.
The wombo combo was insane.
Ilang beses nila ginawa yun? Parang...
Actually, yung wombo combo na yun, one time lang siya nangyari. Pero yung point na yun, talagang turning point talaga siya for Asus Fate. Because right after that clash, parang hindi na makabawi yung SF5.
SF5, exactly. Tapos medyo lacking yung Victor. Hindi ko siya naramdaman.
Yeah. Honestly, it was bad. I would say it's bad shot calling in part of SF5. Kasi yun nga, malaki yung roaming potential with Gragas and with Thresh. Pero a lot of that was invested kay Maokai.
Yeah.
And so, Victor fell behind more and more in the late game. He would just be deleted so easily.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with you with that. Tapos, meron pa nangyari. Okay sana yung move nila, no, na they wanted to shut down Shen.
Yeah.
Isinira ulit agad nila yung bottom.
Yeah.
I think that was good. And then, nag-reply naman yung Asus Fate with the Maokai, yung top laner naman nila. And then, at that point, di ba medyo even pa sila?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, that thing happened.
The wombo combo really shut them down.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't happen again because they really need to get back into this game. SF5 just has to actually make better calls because maganda naman actually team comp nila. Gaya na sinabi ni Shinbu, they had power picks. They had the Sivir, they had the Gragas, the Maokai. They had all three of those. And you also Thresh could be considered a power pick still in this meta. So they just have to make better use of their champions.
Also, the difference for now, kanina, nakita ko, ang naban, Kalista, and then Leona.
Yeah, so now they took away the Gragas, but that gave SF5 the Kalista immediately. So I think Tartarus should replace this one quite often. I think they did pull it out in the recent split locally in their own region. So this should be an exciting Kalista play.
Yeah, and just to make this clear, these are both Vietnamese teams.
Yeah.
And I've also read, I think, champion before yung Asus Fate's championship series nila in Vietnam.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So Group A.
I think that was last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah. That's right. And Rengar.
Wow, yeah. So they banned SF5 banned the Shen instead of Rengar. So that gave Mio here the chance to bring out Rengar. And Rengar was also used last week. And that's the game also where ASF won against SF5. So and I saw the Rengar play. It was actually pretty good. And it really mixed well with Rise from Slay. Kasi the moment that Rise lands the snare, it gives Rengar a much easier time to lock him down and assassinate him. So this should be pretty exciting too. Let's see if SF5 brings out Kha'Zix again.
Yeah, that was mag-ano ulit sila yung parang mission.
On the hunt.
On the hunt again. Anyway, I was just wondering, di ba you witnessed the fight nung nagkaroon sila ng Rengar? What build path did he
Oh yeah, I wasn't able to check that actually. But in the end, really, Rengar was the one above Kha'Zix the whole
So,
game.
was he the bursty kind of Rengar?
It was
or-
like a semi-damage, semi-tank, but he still hurt eventually. But really, the carry in that game was Slay, so it's really much better to remove the Rise rather than the Rengar.
Ah, I see. Well, easier to deal with,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
around this patch.
Yeah, because Rengar, I would say, it's like a niche pick.
Yeah.
Like you don't really get him if you're not sure you're good with him.
Yeah.
Like you have to be good with him to be of any use to any
Exactly,
team.
exactly. Actually, I want to bring something up kasi we're talking about Rengar here.
Yeah.
And meron akong na-encounter sa YouTube about someone complaining during ranks when the other team has a Rengar and the other team has a Kha'Zix. And then when On the Hunt comes, they forget that they're in a rank game. They want to accomplish the On the Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And do not anger your teammates by losing your focus on
Yeah.
a rank game because you're on the hunt,
Yeah.
guys. It's still a rank
Bonus
game.
lang yan.
Yeah.
Bonus lang yan.
Yeah.
Nexus pa rin yung kailangan patiin, guys. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lose
Na-excite
focus.
sila, no,
Yeah.
na on the hunt. So anyway, yun lang naalala ko.
The
lang.
rivalry kasi, nararamdaman nila.
The rivalry. They forgot na it's a rank game. Doon na lang concentrate.
Yeah.
So here we have an Orgot and a Cho'Gath.
Yeah, so actually, that's a really tanky ASF right now. Orgot really scales well to the late game. And it's usually not commendable to grab a Cho'Gath first, because usually you want to grab a Cho'Gath to counter pick the enemy team. So, medyo nakakapagtaka na nag-Cho'Gath first pick. Kasi sa karamihan ng games na napanood natin, kapag nag-Cho'Gath first pick, it doesn't go so well.
Yeah.
Because it's quite easy to pick a champion that will deal with the Cho'Gath anyway. So usually you want to grab a Cho'Gath to counterpick a mage that doesn't have a lot of mobility so that you can easily feast him or something like that.
Maybe because they've seen, could be a Lissandra or a Morgana. We don't know.
Yeah. But
But
I guess
yeah, it most makes sense on
Yeah,
Morgana, yung support.
actually that's interesting because they picked the Lissandra and the Morgana, and both of them, I would imagine it would be better for Morgana to take mid because it's very easy to black shield the Rupture.
Yes.
But yeah, that's also not very viable to make Lissandra support. So
Yeah, but we've encountered a couple of Lissandra supports.
yeah, we have.
in our lives.
But they won't be pulling that out this time, and I think that's much better for SF5. This is actually a really interesting pick and ban phase.
Yeah, I haven't actually encountered Leona or Got a lot. That
Yeah.
kind of combo.
Orgot, Leona, and Rengar. We don't see them often. Plus, we also don't see Lissandra that often anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
dati lagi siyang priority pick. The Jarvan-Lissandra combo was so favored before.
Yeah,
but
it's actually either Jarvan, Nar, Lissandra,
yeah,
those three.
yeah, those three. But
those
now it's
times.
not such a contested pick. But there's actually so much CC right now coming in from SF5 side.
Yeah.
Especially with Kalista also having her own CC from her ult. So I think SF5 is also looking to make their own wombo combo. But ASF has the Orianna Rengar.
Yes.
So if they're able to pull that off, I mean, this is giving me memories of Season 4 where Uzi and Insect would like, yeah, basically you guys know what that means. The Rengar would just basically inv, jump, and then attach the ball and shockwave. So if ASF can pull that off, which I think they can, because Mio is a good Rengar, and we saw Jinky's Orianna earlier.
Yeah, the shockwaves were really on point.
Yes.
From that mid-turret shockwave from the Anti-Burst down to the Dragon one. I saw that one. That was a really good one. Grabe.
Yeah,
really
so the wombo combos are real.
Yes, so welcome here to the Garena Premier League 2015 Summer Split. You are witnessing the second game between Saigon Fantastic 5 versus Aces in Buffet. Now let's break it down to you guys. Yung mga compositions nila for the red side. We have SF5 Ro at the top lane with the Nar, Senna with the jungle Rek'Sai. In the mid lane, we have Lovida in the Lissandra. And for the bottom lane duo, we have Tartarus on the Kalista and Sunny with the Morgana.
Yeah, meanwhile on the red side, that's Slay in the top lane with Cho'Gath, Mio in the jungle with Rengar, Jinky in the mid lane with Orianna again. And in the dual lane, that's Lisna and Akihu with Urgot and Leona.
Oh, here we go again, the prehistoric skins.
Ooh.
The cute Nar. Poser daw nga, sabi ni Shinbu. Poser dinosaur.
Poser dinosaur. Slay making him feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm the real dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no level 1 plays for now. Actually, SF5 has really good, well not really good, but they have pretty scary level 1 CC. You have Dark Binding, and you have the room from Lissandra.
Yeah.
Then again, they also have the Rupture and the Zenith Blade from Leona, so I guess it's much better to play safe, especially with a Rengar. You want Rengar to get all of his buffs in the early game so that he can get his items quickly and start start roaming around.
Yes.
And actually, yun yung isa sa mga problema kapag may Rengar sa team comp, because I think I watched it in LCK, someone picked a Rengar, so he got counter-picked with a Nunu, and the Nunu just kept stealing all the camps of the Rengar.
Yeah.
And napakadelikado na para sa Rengar, because once Rengar is like lagging behind in the game, you can almost say it's over for him. So he really has to get snowballing early. So ASF just wants to play the safe, especially since nga medyo mas malakas sila towards mid game to late game.
Yeah.
So really better.
Yeah, that's true. Tapos, actually meron ako narinig na kwento. Nunu jungle. Tapos, ang ginawa niya lang, counter lang siya ng counter. Siya siguro level 6 na or level 5. Tapos yung kalaban niyang jungler, level 3.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah, I heard that story. I was really amused. And I'm like, maybe I should try super duper counter jungler.
Yeah, ang saya naman nun.
Yeah.
Level 3 pa lang yung jungler. Yeah, so they really have to invest in Mio. Sana Mio can get going, and I have faith in his Rengar because like I said nga, naglaban sila last week, ASF and Sf5 fought last week, and ASF was the winner. And in game 1, ASF was still the winner. So 3 games in a row, ASF natalo na nila yung Sf5, and Sf5, they have to find out ano nga ba talaga yung napapatalo sa atin kapag kalaban natin yung ASF.
Yes.
Kasi siguro may common denominator sa lahat ng games.
Definitely.
So they have to find out. I really think part of it is yung shot calling nila. Kasi nga, nakita natin ng game 1, no investment into Lovida whatsoever. So maybe it's better nga siguro na Lovida takes this, wow, early flash.
Yes.
Taken away from Shinki.
Yes.
But yeah, I really think it must have been better na parang CC playmaking type na mid laner na yung kinuha ni Lovida instead of a carry type. Kasi nakita nga natin, medyo hindi effective yung Victor niya in game 1.
Imagine, I think level 1 pa lang sila, yung dalawa. And nahaharas lang siya ng bot, Oriana.
Yeah.
Early game, being pushed down onto his own turret. He can't even trade back.
Yeah, he couldn't. Hindi man lang niya naland yung mga lasers niya.
Yeah,
sadly.
Yun nga. And he's forced to go home, and then until naiwan na siya sa damage, and he can't contribute that much sa fight anymore.
Yeah. Plus, they gave Mayo the Rengar. So this is gonna be a bit dangerous for SF5. The good part about that is that Rek'Sai, malakas naman siya sa early game. He can roam, and in fact, medyo mas reliable yung roam niya compared to a Rengar. Because like we said nga, medyo niche pick nga yung Rengar. You have to be definitely good with him to pull him off in this somewhat semi-Cinder Hulk meta.
Yes,
so,
semi-Cinder Hulk meta. And you can see the investment na ginagawa ng SF5 dito sa mid lane. They don't want that Oriana to be... Kasi alam nila, wala nang flash.
Yeah.
So, nakita natin, mga ilang siguro seconds, nag-stay pa rin yung Rek'Sai and he couldn't gank properly anymore despite the loss of flash ni Jinky.
They're trying to learn their lesson from game 1.
Yeah,
Kasi
exactly.
nga talagang Jinky just got so ahead na bawat shockwave na mangyari, parang 3 champion yung tatanggal sa game.
Exactly.
So, they really have to watch out for Jinky.
I think yung build path niya una talaga yung Holy Grail.
Yeah, nahirapan lang lalo si Victor with the Athene kasi with that additional MR and mana regen, naharas si Victor.
And ito pa, kahit may MR ito si Oriana, kung hindi tumatama yung laser.
Oh, yun na nga eh. Couldn't land the skill shots. And the distortion helps kasi may bonus movement speed din yung distortion. And so, it just gave Oriana so much mobility na medyo nalito na siguro si Victor kasi nilalagay yung laser niya. And so,
wow. Despite the hop from Rogue, kinain niya pa rin yung Rupture. Wala lang.
Actually, I would think that Nar would win the top lane kasi ideally, when you have the hop, it should be saved for the Rupture. And it's pretty easy to predict the Rupture because the range indicator is there.
Yeah.
So, kapag naka-hop ka na, hop forward and then start kiting Cho'Gath because Cho'Gath does... I mean, first of all, hindi naman useful yung silence ni Cho'Gath kasi auto-attack based naman si Nari. And by the time na nag-fade na yung silence na yun, you can throw the boomerang and proc his passive from the hyper. So I could imagine this should be a favorable matchup for Ro.
Yeah.
But so far, slight CS lead coming in from Slay. So
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh, the shockwave drops onto Lupita. Here comes the claw. And the ultimate will drop onto Jinky. He gets ignited as well. Here comes the Rengar. Will be able to finish the kill. The strike, the bola strike rather, does not connect. Just a couple of more hits. And first blood goes to Jinky, the Orianna.
Oh my gosh. Isang Q na lang yun.
Yeah.
And he would have gone down. But again, Jinky gets the kill in the mid lane.
It's like deja vu. Di ba? Sino ba? Actually, first blood Shen last
Yeah,
time nga pala.
yeah.
Siya
But
yung
still, Jinky first blood. Love it behind again. That's not a good
Not a good
thing.
sign at all. The Dark Binding will land onto the Argon, but they're focusing their damage onto Akiho. He's super low. Also Sen as well. He decides to go back, but here comes the Cho'Gath and Kalista. Oh, great! Our ultimate just to slam the people. Si Slay ang slams a wall. Sunny flashes away. He's still alive. Tartarus super low as well. That is a 1-for-1, actually 1-for-2 exchange in favor of Saigon Fantastic 5.
Yeah, so that was a good clash actually. And the kill, one kill did go to Tartarus here, Kalista, so that's very important. But Lisna also got the kill, so it doesn't really change a lot since both AD carries were able to get the kill.
Yeah.
But still, at least Sf5 is making a move in this early game. We saw in the first game actually na Sf5 yung nakakuha ng lead. And so they should get Tartarus going because actually of all of the members, Tartarus is the only source of damage that you have that's consistent.
Yes.
Kasi Rek'Sai, Gnar, Morgana, and Lissandra are literally all going to set up for Kalista.
Exactly.
So, the moment that Tartarus falls behind, wala ka nang masyadong reliable source of damage output. Unlike ASF, where you have Rengar, Cho'Gath is also pretty painful, and of course, Orianna. So, it's just such a scary mid-game for ASF. And so, the important part lang talaga dito, again, invest in what you need to invest in. And in this game, if it's not a Victor, it's the Kalista.
Yeah, that is true. And he got a kill. Here comes the BF Sword again. Coming up from top. Senna will get knocked up. Will they be able to land the knock-up onto Slay? He's already out. He's not burrowed. Just a couple of more hits. Ro will get the kill onto Slay.
Yeah, and good investment there too. We saw Senna nag-hesitate siya, auto-attack, gave it to Ro.
Yeah.
And that's a very good idea. I think he's going to go for Spirit Visage first here against Slay. And that's a good idea because you don't really want to invest in the Frozen Mallet to kite the Cho'Gath. You want to be able to get tanky so that you can make those TP plays at bot lane and get Tartarus fed. I think that's a much better idea here coming in from Sf5. So at least better calls here for Sf5.
Yeah, and I like what Rek'Sai has, yung Sightstone. Talagang dinideny yung more vision for them, then denying the early game ni Meow. Meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Meow. Yeah,
Meow.
Meow. Ow, that's actually a fitting name for Rengar right
cat.
now. I just realized.
Oh, we slow.
Yeah. Oh well, so Meow here the vision actually is just quite defensive.
Yeah, and they're checking around Dragon too, so that's actually a good idea, especially when you have a Kalista. You should abuse the Rend. Always abuse the Rend because parang may nabasa nga ako, parang the bane of every jungler is a Kalista kasi once you land a lot of those stacks for the Rend, more often than not, matatalo nun yung smite eh. So, they should really take advantage of that, especially since wala silang pinol off na lane swap this game. They can contest for the first dragon.
Right. Here comes again. The Solar Flare doesn't connect to anyone. Tartarus in a safe location. Here comes the Soul, Shackles, and they bumped into Akiho. Rek'Sai joins into the fight as well. Sunny is super low. He will go back just for safety. And the first one to fall is the Rengar. They're concentrating all their damage onto the Argon. And here comes Tartarus. And he might probably fall. That will be double kill, and it's the supports that are the ones left. That's a shutdown for the Kalista, 2 for 2.
Yeah, well, that was still a pretty good clash since Lisna was still able to get a kill. Pero nakita natin ang pangit ng synergy dun sa bottom lane. Solar Flare just completely misses. And so Mio ends up dying, but he still gets 2 assists. But still, that could have been a much better gank if the Solar Flare hit. So you cannot make those mistakes when you have Rengar Leona because that's so game-changing. The moment that the Solar Flare missed, it gave ASF an opening to still get kills. The good part about that is, alright, let's check the replay. So we'll see here, Solar Flare, totally, wow, just what? It totally misses and, oh, wait. Oh, there it is. So first, the Bola misses too. So all the CC actually in that clash totally just wonked so bad. And so Rek'Sai has the time to make it the dark. Oh, wow.
That was a
He was
great
able to land a
three-man soul shackle
before
the Fate's Call.
Yeah, so this is just the perfect clash. Yung ASF pa sana yung magagank dito, pero in the end, it was SF5 that ended up getting the perfect clash because all the CC missed and all the CC from SF5 landed.
Yeah,
so
that was really great. And you know what? They didn't even bother to step on the tunnel and deny Rek'Sai's global presence in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think that ASF was really not predicting all their CC to miss in that clash.
Yun pa.
Yeah, and double kill. Ooh.
Oh, they're trying this again. Flash is over committing probably. Here comes the Rengar once again. Tartarus will get bursted down. That's not a mistake. And here comes the switcheroo from the Urgot. He gets rooted down. Sunny will be the second one to fall. No, wait! Whoa, wait! Bitin yung damage. Something is going on sa top lane while that was happening. They weren't able to secure the kill. Ace's Imba Fate miscalculated one auto attack.
That's the second time that happened. The last time that happened, it was when Corki was at top lane and he had to flash for one auto attack. ASF, what's happening?
I don't know. They're probably overestimating their damage at the moment, but
yeah. That looked like Slay was trying to save the last hit for Lisna.
Yeah.
And he still didn't take it. Something's up. Lisna is... Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather... It's okay for me to kill steal than... You know, I invested a lot of skills onto you and I won't be able to get a kill. That is just so heartbreaking, man.
Lisna has to get the hint. They're saving it for you. It's for you.
Yeah, it's for you.
Alright, so let's check this one. Solar Flare lands. It doesn't land the stun, but it gives them time to set up the Zenith Blade anyway. And then Rengar hops in. He's able to land. Yes, he landed the ball at that time. So that was the important part. Important part also is that the kill was finally still given to Lisna. So Lisna should have seen this coming. It was for him.
Yes.
And Sunny left with a sliver and they all walk away.
He walks away.
They all walk away. And Slay actually almost died here. He's lucky that the burn from the red buff from Akihu counted as damage so that the tower refocused onto him. Otherwise, that would have been a death.
Yeah, that is true. But meanwhile, we have something here in the middle lane. Rek'Sai is the only one who falls from that.
Yeah. Talking about the middle lane again, Jinky is again in the lead.
Yeah.
40 CS lead, and in terms of gold, he's ahead by 1,000 gold. So,
oh my.
This is just sad actually for Lovida. They keep losing the mid lane matchup.
Yeah, that's true. And when they come with a 5v5 team fight, it's really gonna be crucial because the ball can actually reach the Kalista, and that is really crucial for them.
Yeah, and there's so many ways for the ball to make it to Kalista because you have both Rengar and Leona. So the moment that they can just land their skill shots, which we saw happen earlier in the clash, as long as they can keep that going, then it's going to be a dangerous team fight. But Slay getting bullied out.
Wow, that is one painful Gnar.
Yeah, and he has the Hex Drinker as well. So this is what I was talking about. It should be a favorable matchup for the Gnar just because he can dodge everything and keep smacking Cho'Gath in the face. So yeah, the poser dinosaur doesn't look like much of a poser now, at least.
The cute little dinosaur with a costume wins.
Yeah, so in terms of vision, things looking pretty well for both teams actually. Just a little bit dark actually at the bot lane here.
Yeah. And look at these two junglers ready to rumble. Rek'Sai in the area and then Rengar as well. Whoops.
That's awkward.
I'll just slowly walk away.
I think he accidentally pressed E. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Okay, I come back later.
Yeah, I back out now. I will just SS again later.
Yeah. Hopefully they won't step on the tunnel again.
Yeah.
Diba? So, quite far around the turret. Rengar decides to go home. We'll probably buy something for the next clash. Dragon hasn't been taken yet. I mean, it's 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
No pressure whatsoever sa Dragon. Where they're taking their time.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And it's a good thing that Lisna's still keeping up. Actually, in terms of gold, compared to Kalista. So, kahit nag-invest na yung SF5 onto Tartarus, ASF here, Lisna, still catching up. The good part is that he was able to get kills even if they were losing the clash.
Yeah, that is
so, as long as I think Mio keeps investing in the bottom lane. Gangs, there's a TP coming in.
Oh, will something happen here? Ro is actually going to be Mega Gnar. Gets the stun onto Akiho. Solar Flare just to try to disengage, but Akiho is still landing a lot of hits. Here comes Cho'Gath for the backup. There's a switcheroo from the Urgot, in action right here
Oh,
in the
wow.
river. Senna will fall from that. And right now,
Oh.
Ace's Imba Fate is actually trying to win this for themselves. And right now, Sf5 just decides to go back.
Oh.
Shockwave catches Sunny. He will be the next one to fall. That's 3 for 0 so far. Lissandra trying his best to be safe. He might get bursted down. Just one more hit.
Oh,
Cross.
wow.
That is an ace. Everybody's in the bottom lane, guys. Everybody.
The team fights of ASF are just so good.
Yeah, really good.
They're able to pull off everything. Lisna was so brave, just going up into the face of Tartarus and getting himself a kill. He's 4-1-4 now.
Yeah.
And this is just looking really good for ASF. We saw in game 1, ang galing ng team fights nila. It's very well calculated. Mio was able to survive kahit na-root na siya beside the tower.
Exactly.
Able to flash out. Just good team fights from ASF. And mechanically, it's looking like there's a gap between ASF and SF5. SF5, a little bit shaky right now. And we saw, that was a pretty awkward teleport actually from Ro. Yung nag-TP siya kasi may rage na siya.
Yeah.
Pero he should have, the call should have been after the Dark Binding from Sunny.
Yes.
So it was way too near the tower. They took a lot of unnecessary damage. Then Tartarus had to overcommit under the tower and then flash back out.
Yeah,
Which is
parang,
awkward.
Parang yung dating kasi parang, oh, yung Leona na lang, yun yung pinakamalapit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they invested so much on the Leona.
Yeah.
And then Rek'Sai got caught up by the Rengar
Yeah.
and the Orianna sa river. It was just a disaster
Yeah.
for Saigon Fantastic 5 in that engage. Oh, they're looking for something here. Slay might be in trouble. The Rapture lands on Senna. They want this kill. Meganar is right there, but here comes Meow. He is invisible at the moment. They know that he's around.
Where is he going?
Let's see. Are they gonna jump? Yes, he does. He jumps into the Meganar. He gets pushed back, and he gets knocked up. Doesn't matter. They decide not to commit.
That ult was pretty uncalled for.
Yeah,
but
definitely. Oh, Akiho getting all the arrows, actually spears rather, from Tartarus. He is gonna get rended down probably.
Ooh.
Doesn't get the rend, he gets knocked up, and there goes the kill for Tartarus. Just kiting down, decides to back away. Senna gets ignited. Here comes the claw from Lissandra. Yeah, they decide to back away.
Yeah, Urgot's still not that painful actually right now. So they still should be careful if all those spears land onto you. Rend is no joke, really.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be really scared. That's why one of my most feared AD carry matchups in the bottom lane. I don't want to face Kalista ever.
Yeah, especially a good one. And Tartarus actually been pretty consistent despite the mistake.
Oh, he's
So-
landing a couple of stacks onto the Urgot. Will the Rend be enough for this? He wants to proc it, but the distance is just too far. Tore na lang ang titirahin ko. Here
Oh,
comes
looks like a
Lissandra.
tower dive.
Yeah, it will be a tower dive. Here comes the Claw. Will he get rooted down? Nope, the kill
Oh.
will go to... But here comes Leona, though. Will not be able to do
And
anything.
Rengar's coming.
Here comes the Meow.
Oh, never
Meow onto the walls.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna respond for that. Still no oh, wait. Dragon
took-
was, yeah, they
Yeah,
took
they
Dragon.
took Dragon. Ah, earlier after the successful
Yeah.
team fight from Ace's Imba Fate.
Yeah, so still things looking pretty good for ASF.
Oh, 3 people in the mid lane. Here comes Meow trying his best to save the Orianna and get something out of this shutdown. We'll go to the Sundar. He is the only one alive. The cat will be able to escape. It's 4 people down at the mid lane. It's a massacre. That's 2 for 0 in favor of Saigon Fantastic 5.
Meow tried. He tried.
Yeah, I tried to save.
Just, it was a 4 versus 2, so
yeah.
really can't expect much out of that. Baron gonna be live in a few seconds, and things looking, well, they're looking better for SF5.
Yes, definitely.
Because they're investing a lot in the proper champion, which is Tartarus, and he is ahead slightly of Lisna right now. So actually, that's the best news that you can get from their team composition right now. It's that they're investing in Tartarus. As long as, actually, yung hope nandito, as long as he can duel with Lisna,
Yeah.
that's good. Just they have to end it by mid-game because Urgot's gonna, eventually Urgot will be a little bit too tanky for Kalista, I think,
Yeah.
come late game. So, and Jinky's gonna hurt too. So they really have to get Tartarus going as quickly as possible before things get too tanky.
Yeah,
in the late game.
for Kalista.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of wondering, is Black Cleaver a common build for an Urgot?
Actually, I think it is, but I didn't think it would be a second item.
Yeah,
Actually,
I see.
but well, I'm no Urgot player.
Same,
so
same, same.
I would
same
really
man.
know.
Not even finished his boots yet. Really committed to this. I wonder what item he'll finish next.
Well, that's
though.
beneficial, I guess, for tank shredding, since Black Cleaver does help for tank shredding a lot.
Oh yeah.
It can bring down Rek'Sai and Gnar a little bit faster, so that would be pretty helpful.
Yeah. And the middle lane turret is about to go down, I guess. No, not yet. Lisandra is there pala. Quite a slow game after the last clash.
Yeah.
They're playing safe. They don't want anything too risky. Kasi medyo aggressive silang dalawa nung una, no?
Yeah, they were making like so many ganks in the bottom lane.
Exactly. And then they kind of died down. I wonder if there will be an engaged. Orianna is safe.
And that's
for now.
understandable kasi nung early part ng game, the moment that Rengar hits level 6, you want to make use of that ult. And there's not a lot of vision yet. But because a lot of vision has already been laid down, it's understandable that the energy died down because right now, in ASF side, naghahanap lang si Mayo ng opening
Yeah.
for this at this point in the game. So as long as he can find a good gank and use the ult every time that it's up to set up for Lisna, then that would be good. Mahirap nga lang yan kasi in terms of vision, Sf5 has really warded out a lot of the parts of the map. So medyo nagiging halata na kapag nag-SSC Mayo.
Yeah.
That's good. As
It
long as they
works.
keep investing in vision and finding out where Mayo is, malalaman na agad nila na, oh, he's approaching the bottom lane. That means probably
might ult.
mag-SS na siya
Yeah.
to gank onto Tartarus.
That is true. So everybody's like very careful talaga ngayon. And actually, what I kind of wonder what's the best build path for Orianna right now.
Well,
Kasi,
she does have a lot. Wow, she actually really hurts right now.
yeah, the Rabadon.
That shockwave is going to hurt. She'll probably grab. Well, both Zhonya's and Void Staff are pretty viable. I think she grabbed Ludens in game 1 earlier, so she's probably gonna go after that. as
Actually,
well.
interesting thing about Ludens, I read an article where right now, wait a moment, these two dinosaurs are trading it out. It's actually cute to see. At the moment, Ro will be Meganar.
Slay's
Set it back
freaking
away.
huge.
Yeah, he is. He's probably going for the gauntlet, you think?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, wait. I think he's gonna go for Frozen.
Frozen Mallet?
Yeah. No, Heart.
Heart.
Yeah.
Alright, Heart. Not
Probably.
My bad. So anyway, speaking of Ludens, I read an article about Ludens Echo where the mages right now would rush Ludens because it wouldn't be practical to like go for Rabadons. Like before siguro,
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
be great. But right now we have the Ludens. Void Staff, no, that's something you'd get like a third item
Yeah,
or
late
something.
game,
Late
yeah.
game. And first item, Morello Nomicon, it's efficient now. Pero
Yeah.
most of the time, if you wanna maximize your damage right away, you'd go for Ludens first.
Yeah,
And
nung debut ng Ludens, everyone was grabbing Ludens first.
yeah, the hype around it was really
Yeah.
good. Kasi it's like, oh, RIP DFG, wala na siya. Ganun.
Yeah. Kaya nga na-nerf na nga siya eh. Kasi everyone was grabbing it. And yung idea kasi dun for Ludens is dapat item lang siya for the mobile spam casters. Pero
Yes.
yung nangyari, lahat
It's
kumuha.
for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for
So
everyone.
medyo naging OP siya. Lalo na yung
Poke champions.
yeah, and yung ano niya, when it pops the passive where it can create this like AoE damage burst,
Yeah.
it's really painful. Like, naalala ko tuloy yung game where I think, I forgot the game. I think it was Empire X versus War Gods where they were able to steal DR just by charm queuing with the RE.
Yeah.
The Ludens proc was
The Ludens
a big help there. So, finally, it got learned.
Yeah, it did. Pero, yun nga, the removal of DFG was to remove the burst mages na you
Yeah.
couldn't react daw.
yeah.
And they placed Ludens para you have still the room to fight back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think he's gonna go for Void Staff next though.
Yeah, Void
With Blasting Wand and Amplifying Tome.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you're
most
right.
probably going to be a Void Staff. And the second Dragon just went to ASF.
Yeah, no
So,
contest whatsoever.
Yeah. Things looking pretty even, though SF5 does have a lead. And the CS difference from Gnar and from Slay and Ro is quite big. So, nag-manifest na yung matchup lead towards yung mid game.
Yes.
Because of the kite potential coming in from Gnar. And Slay really does not have a lot to do with silencing a Gnar. So, ooh,
oh,
wow!
with the shockwave lands, here comes the ult from Lovita.
TP.
Flashes in just to snare Jinkei. The claw will be the safety. He's super low at the moment. Will the ignite burn? Yes, it will. Jinkei is super low as well. Ro gets knocked up. Might get feasted down. by the Cho'Gath right here. Sunny is trying to do his best to secure the kill, but Jinke has the shield and everything. Crucible onto himself, see Sunny, and right now they're seeking refuge under the turret. It's 2 for 0 in favor of Asus and Buffet.
This is exactly what I was saying. Kapag wala si Tartar sa Clash, you can't expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
He's the only source of damage right now that's reliable. Only source of DPS.
Oh, double CC for everybody. Sunny gets Fate's call just for safety, knocks Akio up.
Whoa.
They're gonna do a tower dive. Tartar is still pretty healthy right now, landing a couple of reds.
Oh.
Explodes into the damage. Itong si Urgot, they're still going at it. Tartarus, even though na-root, na-stun, he is still going right now. And he managed to kill 2 people from Asus in the fight.
Yeah, I hope we can get a replay of that because Lisna pulled out a pretty unnecessary ult there.
Yeah.
He ended up under the tower and that gave Tartarus the time to land those Ren stacks. And we saw him, he popped like a giant green ugly pimple. He just died straight up and that was ugly. That was ugly to watch.
Oh my god.
It was just a bad ult generally coming in from Lisna. He didn't need to pull anyone out.
Yeah.
All he had to do was stay out of the tower and kite.
Kite safely.
But
yeah.
he decided... it was, oh!
Oh, the shockwave misses. That is one... And you know what? Asus and Buffet not looking really great.
Yeah, right now.
Right
They're
now.
starting to lose their cool.
Yeah.
Because alam nila na at this point, they have to be making plays. It's the mid-game. This is their territory. And the mere fact na ma-match up ng SF5 yung potential, I think it's really all because of the Gnar and the Kalista right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Gnar is just irritating this giant dinosaur without even trying. He's just being cute
Yeah,
and poking him out into his tower. Meanwhile, Kalista's popping Urgot, and there's a lot of ways for them to respond. They really have to make use of the Rengar Orianna combo. And then Lisna just needs to stay at the back and poke. Right now, Slay is not very useful.
Yeah.
In fact, his Feast can't even burst down a mage at this point.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
all he has to do is set up some good CC and peel as much as he can for Lisna. Try to silence the Rend.
Oh,
but
they
he's a
actually
play.
go in. Here comes the Solar Flare and everything. Jinke is trapped in the middle of it all. And here comes Kalista in the backline. Rengar is trying his best to zone in Tartarus at the moment. Pero 1 member is down, 2 members down. For Saigon Fantastic 5. Actually 2 for 2. And right now, Kalista is still super healthy. Kiting down. Look at the stacks onto the Rengar. He's just gonna pop. That'll be a triple kill. And for an exchange of 3 in favor of Saigon Fantastic 5.
Wow.
Oh my god.
9-3 on this Kalista right now. And yung mahirap dito is that Urgot is not that tanky yet. And Jinky can't seem to land the shockwave on Tartarus. I mean, nakita natin kanina nung nag-tower, when they took down the mid lane tower, isang hop lang. Na-dodge niya agad yung shockwave. So, I think that was a coincidence. But whether or not it was, this is looking to be dangerous for ASF because wala silang paraan para makakuha ng backline damage.
Exactly.
They have to land, or rather, dapat sila yung mauna. If Rengar and Jinky, if Mayo and Jinky can just land a good combo and delete Tartarus from the game, there is no way for SF5 to land any more damage onto ASF. Because like we said, siya lang yung nag-iisang reliable DPS. Because Gnar right now is building full tank right now.
Yes.
The only reason he's painful is because he's fighting Slay and Slay can't do anything.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's only there. Everyone's only there to set up for Kalista. So if you can remove Kalista from the fight, then that's good. Yung problema lang dun is there's also a lot of ways for SF5 to peel for Kalista.
Yeah. The Lissandra actually.
Yeah,
really
and
great.
the vision from SF5 is helping so much here because if you look at their vision now, they're really invading this top side. That's a really big reason for why ASF lost that top lane clash.
Yeah.
They keep finding out where Mayo is. There's so many pink wards in the map, so even if he ults, they can still see him.
Yeah.
And nakita nga natin, halos full health lang si Kalista na buong laban na yun.
Exactly.
Just popping people with the Rend, and it's just so easy right now for her to get those Rend stacks down. So at this point, ASF really has to invest in removing... I mean, look, they have almost all upgraded sweeping lenses. So they really have to make good use of that. They have to put down vision where they want to make the picks and then start with that. Just delete Kalista from the game. Mahirap lang yun kasi medyo mahina yung wave clear nila.
Yeah.
It's only Jinky who has the wave clear.
And I'd like to point out na if they do want to catch the Kalista, sobrang likot niya. Actually, this takes me back to the game that I had kagabi. It was an enemy Kalista and I was the Oriana. And it was super hard to land the shockwaves kasi ang likot. So if ever I do want to land those, it's either I'd rely on the solar flare of Leona or the bola strike ni Rengar if I want a sure shockwave.
Yeah, yun nga yung nagiging problema. Dapat yung ASF yung nauuna. Pero because of the vision from SF5, it gives them so much options to engage. Kaya nga nakita natin, even if Lovida is not the super carry that Victor could be, that's why I think this Lovida, this Lissandra pick paid off. Because even if he can't be a carry, he's able to set up properly for Tartarus in the game.
Exactly. Siya actually nauna, diba? Na-snare niya yung tatlong tao dun sa, it was the Oriana, it was the Urgot, and I think it was the Leona.
Yeah.
In one brush, and they had complete vision over it as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Aces Imba Fate has to rethink how they're gonna make their way around the Kalista with this.
Really. Kasi, tignan mo naman yung vision. Ano kalokohan to? There's like so many tunnels and wards and there's just no opening right now for ASF to make a play. And that's really the biggest bane of having an Oriana Rengar combo. It's not having an opening. Because that's what Rengar needs.
Is this the opening that we're talking about? But look at the spell immune, the crucible, everything. He's just kiting down the cat at the moment. Fate's Call just to save the Oriana. Here comes the switcheroo. Crucible against that. Actually, that's a QSS coming in from the Kalista. Look at the runes. Look at everything that's dominating. Meow is actually having the stacks as well. Look at that. That was
all the CC was useless.
Yeah, that's a Crucible. That's a QSS.
Pop.
Yeah.
Bang.
Tinapon lang yung Urgot, just like that.
My gosh, this is, well, this is pretty much GG.
Yeah.
Jinky is not able to set up shockwaves like he was during game 1.
Yeah.
It's just looking, I would say this is also a really good effect of Sightstone vision everywhere coming in from SF5. They were able to really set their priorities straight this game. Really good recovery coming in from game 1. They look at that, 11-3 Kalista. It's just 15,000 compared to Urgot, who's only got 10,000 gold worth. It's just a really big difference right now. That and Cho'Gath is just nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Quite irrelevant at the moment.
That's why I was saying you don't need to priority pick a Cho'Gath in the pick and ban phase. You want to use him so that he can burst down someone in whatever lane he's playing in. But right now, 33 minutes in, almost at 10,000 gold. It's looking like the opposite of game 1. This time in favor of SF5. And honestly, there's not a lot of openings left for ASF other than waiting for the proper wombo that they were relying on. Yeah, kasi nakita nga na, wait, they might pull one out.
They're actually looking for something here. Here comes the spell shield, gets snared, and Sunny will be the one who gets caught out. That's -1 from Saigon Fantastic 5.
The only problem with that is that you used everything on the support.
Yeah, that's, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Tartarus is still alive.
Yeah, but that's no spell shield and crucible for Tartarus.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the only win from what they did. Pero as you can see earlier, ang daming nakaligtas kay Tartarus kanina. That was the spell shield, the QSS, and the crucible. Those 3 things really saved him kanina, even though he was at the front line.
Yeah, that's true. Now the bottom lane is pushing inhibitors up, and this is bad because they're gonna end up getting pressure on the opposite side of Baron.
Exactly.
So once they try to respond to that inhib, it gives them the chance to get Baron, and napakadali na makakuha ng Baron para sa SF5 kasi they have Smite and Rend already from Tartarus.
Very secure. Actually, I want to see...
Wow, they're actually going all in mid. They don't want to take the Baron
anymore. Actually, they kind of just wanted to stop them from recalling, but they couldn't stop running and chasing after them. Yeah, too risky. 1 minute to Baron.
I don't see them responding to this Baron call. The only good part about this Baron call now is if, only if, they can land the wombo combo in the Baron pit, it's a little bit easy because enclosed space siya, so it's much easier to land the shockwave in the solar flare. Much harder to miss.
Exactly. And when you're fighting Baron, normally someone is quite low already.
Yeah.
Diba? Like they're taking a bunch of damage from the Baron. But I'm not really sure if they do have the map advantage to do
Yeah.
that. Kasi look, it's
Top
open.
and bot.
Top and bot. The waves are very, very shallow.
Yeah. That's the only hard part here. Actually, this Baron could be very game-changing for either team, but he
Oh.
had to use the ult.
Right
He's
away.
gonna use it on
The
Nar?
Nar. And super far as well. And the ball actually is gone because it's
What?
out of range. And they're committing so much onto Ro. And look at the Rek'Sai split pushing. They
Oh
have to go
my.
back. And now Ro, all he has to do with Sunny is cancel the recalls right here.
And Baron's live. What? That was a bad call from ASF. Now you don't have On the Hunt. You invested so much time in trying to kill a Nar,
Yeah.
which is not what you want to kill. And now this is pretty much a free Baron right now.
I think they're somewhat a bit desperate in their calls
Yeah.
at the moment. It's quite off, but
And Slay is really far. There's no teleport either, so
it's gonna be a 4v5 if they want
yeah.
this. Oh, the Solar
And-
Flare
oh
will
my.
hit the wall. Meow get the steal, gets not. Lisandra gets the kill. Here comes the Golden Oriana. Jinke trying to do it. They all enter the pit. They all join in into the party. Lisna is gonna get bursted down. Here comes Slay trying to do his best to knock people up and probably save his teammates, but that is quite a futile fight as of this moment. Because right now we have Nar in the top lane split pushing. It's just, you know, all over the place right now.
That was ugh. That was bad.
Yeah.
ASF overcommitted to a target they didn't need to take down right before a game-changing Baron.
Yeah.
That, yeah, they definitely threw that last part of
Yeah.
the game.
It was like, let's do this total, parang it's malabo na.
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
It was bad. They could have saved that huge wombo for the Baron. That Solar Flare didn't hit anyone again.
Yeah, it was, everything was awkward to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a shaky late game for SF5.
For
Sadly,
Aces Imba Fate,
yeah.
rather.
Yeah. For ASF.
Yeah.
So-
So after 37 minutes, Saigon Fantastic 5 rammed their way into victory. That's game 2 for them.
Yeah, so it was a good game from both teams. First game, ASF, amazing wombo combo.
Yeah, beautiful.
So good job to them. Sadly, they tried to rely on it again in game 2 pero hindi nga nangyari yung wombo combo na gusto nila. Actually, nangyari lang siya ng bot lane gank
yeah.
ng around before 15 minutes.
Yes.
Pero after that, Tartarus though, with the Kalista, I think they're gonna definitely ban this the next time that they meet.
Yeah.
Because the moment that they let it slip onto Tartarus, Tartarus showed his amazing play. He ends up 11-3-7
Yeah, I
in the
think
game.
they should have still banned the Kalista instead of the Gragas.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because you can still outplay the Gragas with the
Gragas.
Rek'Sai, but sadly, or even the Rengar, they could have still outplayed it, but sadly they
Yeah.
weren't able to. So now the next set is what we've been waiting for.
IPT versus GameX War Gods.
Right, so that will definitely be very exciting. Both these teams are one of the top 4 teams right now
Yeah.
coming in, and they'll most probably make it for the playoffs for the PGS. So definitely watch out for that. Definitely 2 very strong PH teams right now,
Yeah,
and it's
I'm-
exciting to see where they'll go in the GPL.
Same, actually, same. So anyway, we will be right back. Once again, I am GS Riku.
And I'm GS Amplifier.
See ya.